Hello, Oracles. So Russia backs away and the markets go green. Imagine that. So it looks like what many of us thought and were hoping. We were not going to be going to war. Seems like this was more of a diplomatic push and just a sign from Putin just kind of voicing his opinions about NATO and Ukraine over there. So the political BS seems like it's starting to settle down a little bit. We'll see if this continues to go this way. The market clearly cheered this morning, and so we saw plenty of green over the course of the day today. We saw the Nasdaq was up 2.5%, S&P was up 1.5%. So nice green on the day. Many of the small cap stocks as well coming up. We've got Tesla up over 5%, Palantir up almost 7%. Massive gains on the day. We've seen these going on over the last week or so. We've actually seen a lot of the small caps gaining significant percentage gains. How much longer this is going to go on for, I don't know. I know that many of these stocks were down 50% or more from their all-time highs. So coming back up this amount is, still lagging way behind where they were before. So how much higher we're going to go, I don't know. Looking at Tesla, which we'll discuss more in the morning, they are still in the consolidation phase. They do have a wedge pattern going, looking like a breakout as we discussed this morning. And so it looks like, I think it's going to culminate right around February 24th at about $900. At least that's where the pattern is taking it at the moment. It can break out any time. I have a feeling that unless there's anything in the macro environment that causes a negative catalyst, we will probably continue in this direction, and then as soon as we get some positive catalyst news out of Tesla, we will see a breakout. And now looking at a lot of these stocks as well, many of them had a gap up when we had a big gap up over the weekend a couple weekends ago. So looking at these gaps, many are getting filled. Square was filled, Enphase was filled, MP Materials was filled. So there's many of these gaps that have been filled, so continuing this run up is potentially going to happen. We do still have the FOMC meeting tomorrow morning, so that could throw a monkey wrench in some of this. But there are some gaps that haven't been filled, like Airbnb still has a gap to fill. Square actually does have a gap to fill under $100. So, there are some gaps left to fill and some that have been filled. So I think if we get through the FOMC meeting tomorrow, we may see a continued run up until March. But remember, when we had the FOMC meeting back in January, that did not bode well for the market, and that's when we saw everything turn around and go straight downhill. So let's hope that tomorrow we do not get that same reaction and we can continue this run going forward. And one of the gaps that Slim had pointed out to me was the gap that was formed today. 875 to about 900. We did come down to about 893, so it's between 875 and 893 is the current gap for Tesla. Now, when we talk about gaps, and many of you have asked, so gaps are when you start the day higher than when you close the day before. So for instance, yesterday we closed in Tesla at 875. Today we opened at 900. So there is that gap from 875 to 900. Only stock value movements that happen during a trading day count towards filling that gap. So if we happen to come down to, let's say, 870 pre-market or after hours tonight, that does not count. So it has to happen during normal trading hours for that gap to get filled. So where we were at 900 to start, we came down to 893. So that closed the gap by $7, but we still have the gap from 875 to 893. And now we do still technically have a gap that goes all the way down to 846 as well, because we got down to 850. So we have a gap between 846 and 850. Gaps only fill 9 out of 10 times. So it does not have to fill, but we have discussed before with 2 other gaps that were long outstanding still getting filled. So when they get filled, if they get filled, we don't know. My guess is we probably will still fill that 846 gap. Probably going to fill it if we don't drop after the FOMC meeting tomorrow. I'm guessing we're going to fill it in March when we have the first rate hikes going up. Again, it doesn't need to fill. The 875 may actually fill this week. Again, don't know. We may have some uncertainty tomorrow morning from the FOMC meeting that causes this gap to get filled. We'll see what happens in the morning. Now, as far as some of the other plays that are out there, MP Materials is one that I really like. I was in it, I sold it, I made some profits on it, but it's one of the ones that I sold out because I was profitable and I wanted to free up cash as we were dipping. I sold it at 45, it dipped all the way down to 31. I was still too light on cash to buy back into it, although I would have, because for me, I think their new trading range for MP is between $40 and $50. It dipped all the way down to 31. The previous trading range was between 30 and 40. So 31 and hitting the bottom of the previous trading range would have been an amazing buy. I just didn't have the cash to buy it, so I didn't. But if any of you picked up MP Materials down in the low 30s, let me know, because that's an awesome pickup. I think the company is going to do extremely well going forward, especially with EVs moving in the direction that they're going. MP Materials is a solid stock to own. And so for me, I'm hoping, and obviously hope is not a strategy, but right now, seeing as my cash is depleted lower than I would like it, I'm not in a place to buy anything. I do have cash, so if we get a massive buying opportunity on something, I may pick it up. Otherwise, unless there is a significant buying opportunity, I will be holding off. Is the FOMC meeting tomorrow going to create that buying opportunity? I don't know. I kind of hope not. I hope we do continue this rally. There are some stocks I would like to get out of to free up cash, because I do feel like in March we are going to see that dip coming in quite strong again, and we will see the stock market pull back significantly as there's the uncertainty behind what is going to happen with the Fed meeting on March 16th. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think we're going to get out of the notes from the FOMC meeting tomorrow? Do you think that we are going to get news that is going to bring the stock market down like it did last time? Or do you think all of that is already priced in and tomorrow is just a formality? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.